Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Tammy, I was thinking about you yesterday. Good morning. Welcome to the Phyllis Morning Show, where we're having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. I feel like this little piece of hair is not wanting to do what it's supposed to do. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy Sisters. So what better place to be than here with me? Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show. Please make sure you share. Let's do the intro right quick. Please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. Don't forget, we have the podcast. We have the books. We have the movie. We have all the things. So please make sure you share. And if they don't do any of that, tell them I said good morning. So on this most amazing day. Hope you're ready to get this morning started. So I am going to, for those that didn't attend the Sister Rise retreat, I'm going to do a picture dump. I'm working on, I decided to put it like in a little slideshow so you don't have to click through all the pictures and you can actually see them. So I'm working on that. So I'll post that this weekend or maybe this week. Yeah, we have fresh mint tea. There's nothing but mint leaves in here. And we're ready to get the day started. Hope you've enjoyed the show this week. Let's get right into the show today. And if you share the show, please make sure you share it. Let me type in some links here. Good morning, Joshua. All right, cool. So here we go. I want to talk about, let me get the quote of the day because I want to share with y'all the quote of the day because, and it's by Ogmandingo. I think that's who it is. I can't remember. It's and it says, I will hold on to my potential until it screams, or let me get the right wording because I want y'all to hear this because I love this quote. And it's December the 1st, y'all. Are y'all excited? I am. It's going to be a great month. It's going to be a great month. It is December the 1st and we're ready. Okay, Joshua. So here is here's the quote of the day. I will strain my potential until it cries for my mercy. That's Ogmandingo. Oh, happy world. I didn't know that. I forgot. Good morning, sunshine. Good morning, Miss Rivera. So that's the quote of the day. I will strain my potential until it cries for mercy. And I want us to use all of our potential. So all of it. Good morning, Miss Cree. So we got fresh mint tea. Let's talk about the topic of the day, which is structure and chaos. Structure and chaos. Listen, go back. This is going to fall in with what we talked about Monday and Tuesday. So go back and watch it. They were short shows. They were in the car, but they were great. Today, the structure and chaos, I want to talk about inside the framework of you and you're growing and you're moving and you're doing things. Chaos is what has been normal to us, right? Chaos is me reacting to life, not me being proactive and trying to see if I step here, then this is going to go here. Chaos is me being reactive to life. Like, oh, that hit me upside the head. That hurt. Well, now I got a headache. I got a brain injury. No. I want us to start putting structure in place. So as you begin to evolve, grow, whatever it is, you are moving from chaos into structure. Now, when you're coming from chaos to structure, chaos will increase. Crazy is going to increase. I want us to be clear. I don't want you to think because, oh, I think I'm going to go this way and I finally figured it out, Joe. And this is the things I'm going to do. And I'm going to go this way. And you assume, meaning me, when I say you, assume that everything is going to work itself out. Everything is going to be okay. There's not going to be any problems. But as soon as you're bound and determined that you're going to release that weight, as soon as you're bound and determined, I'm not going to think negative. As soon as you're bound and determined to end a relationship or a friendship that doesn't serve you, the chaos of the situation of that moment increases tenfold. It increases dramatically. It increases so much to the point where you will say, it's cheaper to keep them. It's better and cheaper for me to stay in this chaos than me to keep increasing the chaos and figure out structure. Insert how we keep doing the same thing over and over and over again because it's too hard. I don't understand. Change ain't happening. Like JoJo, I've been doing this for 6 months, 7 months, a year, and I don't feel like I'm ahead. Well, did chaos increase? Yes. In the middle of that chaos, did you decide it's easier for me to go with the flow of chaos or to stay with the structure? Some of us would rather deal with the discipline of freedom. The discipline, we'd rather deal with the chaos of crazy than the discipline of freedom. Because freedom takes discipline. It takes you going against what you normally do. Your structure, you putting a structure in place says, I don't know if I can continue to do this or not. Chaos says, nah, we don't want to keep doing this. We like living in this crazy. We kind of enjoy it. Like we kind of like that part. And it's in that moment that as we begin to understand structure and chaos, if I know I'm putting structure in place, mamas, shoot, people, period. Have your mama ever tried to clean your room dirty? And your mama come in and it seems like she throw everything in the middle of the floor? Or she tell you to take everything out and start over, and then you got to go piece by piece and put it back in? And it is chaos. Or parents, we start cleaning the house. You go in one room to pick up something, and you see that room is dirty. You start cleaning that room. Before you know it, you're cleaning in 4 rooms at one time. And the chaos of it all is overwhelming, but you know you're putting a structure in place. Same rules apply to life. If we're not consciously aware of our subconscious telling us things, then I will allow my chaos to continue to rule me, meaning I will continue to have the same problem. I will always have issues. And please apply this to your business. If you are a business owner or trying to start a business, and you haven't had any structure in place, the minute you try to put structure in place is the minute things go haywire. And you've probably seen this in corporate America. A new person starts, and it seems like everything goes to hell in a handbasket. And you're like, they don't know what they're doing. No, it's not that they don't know what they're doing. Perhaps there was such chaos before, and everybody was reacting. They never had time to put any structure in place. So now that structure is in place, and you're trying to fit chaos down into something that is uniform and looks a certain way, it feels like it's going to explode because it's not meant to fit. Please use this example, honey. Do a square up exercise mentally, emotionally, physically, financially. Where is that chaos, and where are you trying to put structure, and where has the chaos increased? For me, it was releasing weight. It was my finances. It was all the things. but there is a science to the chaos. And if you there's a book that I've read, and it's called The World in a Single Atom, or something to that effect. It's up there. I have to show y'all. And it talks about that there is structure in chaos, and there's chaos in structure. And it's the same. It is what you decide that is important to you at that minute, at that moment. So if I know that if this is what I want to do, and I'm determined to have this structure in place, I first, as I'm looking at this, have to identify the chaos that I have going on. I have to look at the chaos that I have going on. I have to pay attention to, is this really working? Why am I doing this? Is this working to the best of my ability? Who gave me this? Who didn't give it to me? Like, you got a whole lot of questions you got to answer as you begin to put your structure in place. And as you answer those questions, right, and you look at the structure of the thing, then you decide what gets to come along and what doesn't. But in that in-between stage, as you're figuring it out, ladies, listen, if you've been in relationship after relationship and you decide you're going to work on yourself, right? I'm going to work on myself. I'm not going to date anybody. I'm working on myself. How many exes call you? How many old boyfriends or somebody you've been flirting with, you decide, oh, I ain't going to fool? How many do those come out of woodwork? How many times do you feel lonely? You go out there and you be like, man, I really like somebody take me out. Man, I got to eat by myself. Ooh, it's Christmas time. What do the lonely do for Christmas? You over there singing a song and drinking out a coffee cup, like you all in your feelings. And the chaos intensifies. Oh, Jojo, you ain't got no man. Jojo, you ain't dating nobody. Oh Lord, you done had a couple of husbands. What you mean you ain't? And the chaos increases because now you are aware of the chaos. Now you're starting to ask yourself these questions about this, and this. You're trying to put structure in place. And your chaos will say, well, since we're paying attention to it, like, can we go back to our old way? And you got to be consciously aware of your subconscious mind telling you what to do. It is absolutely, Josh, and we have to do that. We've got to, you don't have to build structure. I'm just offering an example of something. You don't have to. I'm hoping it is something that you can use, and please use my life for an example, because when I went from chaos to structure, everything highlighted itself. And I was about to sing the song, It's Cheaper to Keep Her and stay in my chaos. Simply because when you identify your chaos, and we've talked about this before, it requires me now to take on the responsibility of changing the thing. Well, I know if I take on this responsibility of changing this thing, it's going to impact mama, sister, brother, cousin. And because I don't want to have an impact on their lives, I live in chaos, even though it is silently killing me and I can't even swallow it. I can't even get it down my throat. It keeps me up at night. I got shoulder pain, neck pain, migraines, high blood pressure, diabetes, because the chaos is overwhelming. But because if I take responsibility and change what my family is doing and seeing and understanding that I'm the change, and that as I begin to put that structure in place, my family's going to eat me alive. And as I change, it's going to impact everybody's lives and how they interact with me. I'm not ready for that responsibility yet. So I'm going to stay in this chaos. And then before you know it, they calling you Big Mama, who's been with Big Daddy your whole life, and you're angry and you're mad and upset. You're overweight with high blood pressure, angry because you don't understand how you got here. Is because when it came time to identify the chaos and put structure in place, it was cheaper to keep her. It was easy to go with the flow and not change anything and stay with it. I'm just saying. And just like that, folks, you're 20 years down the line. 15 years down the line. Just like that, we're our parents. And we have to love our parents. They gave us the best they could with what they had. They loved us at that moment with the full capacity of the love that they could give us. But if you're trying to put structure in place for your family, your kids, your grandkids, your future relationships, your future marriages, your future business, understand that when that chaos increases, as you put that structure in place, you've got to be aware of why you're putting that structure in place. You got to be aware of this is why it's important to you. That's why as you write it out and you begin to understand it for yourself, you've got to be committed to that structure. You got to be committed to it. Because if you're not committed to it, when chaos comes, when you decided I'm going to work on myself and all your exes call you and you're not committed to it, you be like, man, it worked for a minute. So let me just go ahead and see if it's going to work now. Well, I've always lived like this, so I might as well keep living like this. Well, I've always done this. I might as well keep doing it. And the structure will never be in place. And the complaining will increase. It will never change. The problems will be the same. The only thing that will change is our age. Commitment requires consistency. Absolutely, Joshua. Listen, and you don't have to do any of it. Like, you don't have to. Like we talked about before Thanksgiving, lacking opportunity, chaos and structure, hand in hand. Hand in hand. Either I'm going to look at this lack, or I'm going to look at it as an opportunity. Either it's going to be chaos, or it's going to be structure. One of the two. The Bible says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. If you subscribe to that, if you read the Bible. And at this point, it doesn't matter what religion you subscribe to. They all talk about the power of the words, the power of the mind, and understand that you create what you say. Your words are powerful, but you've got to be committed to that journey. You got to be committed. Negative and positive cannot live in the same place. They just can't. There's not enough room. Whichever one is dominant is what's going to win. Whichever one you subconsciously believe in most is what's going to present itself. So if I'm trying to change, and this is a real thing in changing, we talked about that yesterday when I said, oh, but Jojo, you don't live this way anymore. You don't have to live in struggle and strife anymore. Oh, I don't. No, you don't have to, because, and as you consciously remind yourself, you don't have to live that way. If you're not careful, we will find ourselves so knee deep in our negativity and not believing in ourselves. So when I say that, if I don't believe that I'm truly living in a different state of consciousness, mindset, if I don't believe it, if I don't believe I'm going to be abundant, if I don't believe I'm going to be the first millionaire in my family, if I don't believe that strongly, what I do believe is going to come to the forefront. Girl, that can't ever be me. Who am I to change my family? Who am I to do this? That is the strongest thought. That is what will win. Negative and positive can't live together. Whichever one is the strongest is which one is going to win. So you can predict your future right now. If you're saying, I'll try it, but you know what, Jojo, crazy, and I don't think it's going to work. Tell me what's fixing to happen. It's not fixing to work. It just won't. Because that is your most dominant thought. That is your most dominant thought. So as you think about what you want to think about, as you're deciding the structure of your chaos, and you're looking at your chaos and you're putting your structure in place, are you believing that your structure is going to solidify you? Is it going to provide what you need? Is it going to take you where you want to be? If you don't believe that in your whole heart, again, the Bible says, help me even in my unbelief, help me with this thing. Right? So if I don't believe it in the knower, in the deep, What was the purpose of me? And some of us entertain thoughts because it's fun to entertain a thought. All right, Joshua, congrats. Listen, we're waiting to see you on the runway, friend. So if I entertain a thought and I know that I don't believe in it, then the one I believe in the most is what's going to come. So as you look at your structure and your chaos, and as we talked about lack and opportunity, structure and chaos, the minute you are bound and determined to say, I refuse to live in a relationship like this anymore. I cannot go another day. The minute that happens, chaos will increase by 10,000. They will say the words that you need to hear. They will say, I love you 10,000 times. The actions you've been desiring will come about. Your love language will now be dominant, and it will be all the things, the attention that you wanted. Everything that you desire will now come to the forefront simply because you decided to say, I don't want this anymore, and chaos increases. Oh, you say you don't want this no more. Well, let me increase on this. And it is in that moment you got to be consciously aware that even as my chaos is increasing, I'm putting structure in place. I am determined. I'm putting a structure in place, and I'm not deviating from that. Insert your finances, insert your career, insert whatever. And if we're honest with ourselves, we can see it happening. I'm not going around this mulberry bush with my mama no more. The mulberry bush grows and it gets thorns. And your mama act like she done lost all of her mind and chaos has increased. And then you find yourself giving in. It's cheaper to keep her. It's easier to go along with the chaos. Because putting this structure in place, it's hard as hell. It's harder than I thought. I don't want to be lonely. But I like him though. He don't have all bad traits. Like he's really a great guy. I'm not arguing with you. I agree. I totally agree with you. He's an amazing man. Your mother is amazing. My mother is an amazing woman. Your friend, your best friend is the bestest friend ever. Your boo thing, your side piece, whomever, they're the bestest sisters. Your career couldn't get any better. I'm not arguing for your limitations. I'm asking structure and chaos. Which one is dominant? Which one is going to do the thing that you need? Absolutely, Joshua. Now, I don't believe that. What will happen is, whichever one is the strongest thought is what's going to win. I believe I believe it for 5 minutes. Like when you're on the phone with your girlfriend, like, girl, yes, no, I'm not taking that anymore. You hang up and you go eat something and you sitting there and then that text come through and you be like, yeah, I know I said I deserve better, but let me go ahead and text him back. I've been there. I have done all the things. Hey, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Chaos and structure. When you're putting that structure in place, chaos intensifies because now you're paying attention to what's really going on in your life. Before, you were just reacting to it. Now that you're paying attention to it and you're trying to sort that shit out and you're trying to put it in its place, now you got to pay attention to it. Now you're realizing, doggone, this is crazy. Let me put this structure in place. That's right, Joshua. You got one, is only one can be fed. So on this most amazing day, I want y'all to have the most amazing day ever. And look, here's a note that I think somebody needs to hear this. This is from 11/22. We talked about this on 11/22. I don't know who this is for because I wasn't even looking over here. Your next level, structure and chaos, requires a divine space with no boundaries and no limitations, so you can embody your infinite expansion in everything. Your next level requires a divine space with no boundaries, no limitations, so you can embody infinite expansion in everything, structure and chaos. In order for the structure to stay, in order for the chaos to dwindle down, in order for the chaos to be manageable, in order for the chaos to be something you can wrap your head around and pull it and put it where you need to be, it is going to require you, honey, to expand beyond what you normally can see. Your next level requires a divine space, period. And divine space meaning sacred space to you, not to anybody else. I'm making this space sacred for JoJo because the next level of me is requiring something divine from me. No boundaries, no limitations. And in order for me to operate in that boundaryless, no limitation space, I have got to let go of the chaos and put in some structure. If the structure is stabling my mind, if the structure is stabling my home, my mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, I've got to do that. But my next level cannot come if chaos ensues every time I get to the next level. So that was for me today. So on this great day, as you are expanding yourself with no boundaries and no limits, as you understand your next level is requiring something from you and you're trying to get that chaos to structure. Chaos, now you're just finally paying attention to it. Before you probably wouldn't. Now you're paying attention to it. Now it's a thing. And it's okay for it to be a thing. You're in a perfect place to do something about it. Go grab some coffee, Joshua. So on this great, most amazing day, I want you to be peaceful, period, because there's absolutely nothing after that. Please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. This is the quote of the day. I will strain my potential until it cries for mercy. Og Mandingo. If you've never read any of his books, please go read The Greatest Salesman. Start there and then work your way through the rest of his books. I promise they are life-changing. I thought I had two copies of The Greatest Salesman, but I don't. Listen, you can probably Google and find it for free. Read it this week. The Greatest Salesman. It's really a good book. And it's by Og Mandingo. So on this great day, have the most amazing day ever. It should be peaceful, period. Please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. And remember, you're putting structure in places for the greater good of you. In order for that next level to come, it's going to require a divine space. That means you got to be committed to the sacredness of you that you're putting in place now. You got to be committed to that thing. If you're not, then you're not. I don't even know what else to say. It ain't good or bad. I'm not saying either way. I'm not saying it's my way is the right way. Shoot, JoJo is what I'm teaching you is what I've lived through, what I'm going through, or what I'm learning and I'm putting in place. Please take what you need and leave the rest for somebody else. It's not good or bad. I just want you to say, I wonder if I did this, then this. Please be careful of those who teach things that they have not healed from. Everybody is not meant to help you. Everybody's not meant to serve you. Everybody does not have your common good in mind when they set out to share. Some people's sharing and helping is wrapped up in their ego. It is wrapped up in their self-serving look at meanness. It is wrapped up in everything other than I'm here to help my sister or my brother along this journey. So please be mindful as you please validate the people that you seek advice and help and mentorship from. Please do that. They're not perfect. None of us are. But you need to be impeccable, mindful, determined about the person who helps you along the journey. You got to be picky about that. Okay. If it's not me, I overstand. I want you to find somebody that's going to help you along the journey to get to where you need to be. Because I want everybody to get to strain their potential until it cries for mercy. It doesn't have to be with me. So have the most amazing day. And I hope you guys have a great one. And I will see you here bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a